Once upon a time, in a quaint little village, there lived a girl named Ella. She was known far and wide for her kindness and grace. But her life was far from a fairy tale. Ella's mother had passed away when she was just a child, leaving her in the care of her stepmother and two stepsisters. Ella's stepmother was a cruel and bitter woman, and her stepsisters followed in her footsteps. They treated Ella like a servant in her own home, forcing her to do all the chores and wear tattered clothes. Despite her hardships, Ella never lost her gentle spirit. One evening, a grand ball was announced in the kingdom. It was to celebrate the prince's search for a bride. Ella's stepsisters were overjoyed, for they believed that one of them would surely capture the prince's heart. They spent days preparing their gowns, jewels, and makeup, leaving Ella to mend their dresses and clean the house for their departure. As her stepsisters departed for the royal ball, Ella was left alone, tears welling up in her eyes. She wished, oh, how she wished she could attend the ball. Just then, a soft, melodic voice echoed through the room. It was her fairy godmother, who had been watching over her all these years. With a wave of her wand, the room transformed into a haven of magic. A pumpkin turned into a magnificent carriage, 4 mice into horses, and a rat into a coachman. Ella's tattered rags became a dazzling gown of the finest silk, and her worn-out shoes transformed into glass slippers that sparkled like stars. However, her fairy godmother warned her, "Ella, my dear, you must promise to return before midnight. When the clock strikes 12, your carriage will turn back into a pumpkin, your horses into mice, and your gown into rags." Ella, overwhelmed with gratitude, agreed and set off for the ball. When she arrived, she was the epitome of beauty and grace, catching the eye of everyone, including the prince. They danced the night away, and for a moment Ella felt like a true princess. But as the clock neared midnight, Ella remembered her promise. She bid a hasty farewell to the prince, leaving behind a single glass slipper as she fled. In her haste, she lost the other slipper on the palace steps. The prince, captivated by Ella's beauty and grace, was determined to find her. He searched the kingdom, and the only clue he had was the glass slipper she left behind. He went from house to house until he arrived at Ella's home. Ella's stepsisters tried to squeeze their feet into the delicate slipper, but it was a futile attempt. Then it was Ella's turn. The moment she slipped her foot into the glass slipper, it fit perfectly. The prince knew he had found his true love. And so, Ella's life took a remarkable turn. She married the prince, and together they ruled the kingdom with kindness and compassion. Ella's stepsisters, witnessing her transformation, had a change of heart and became better people. Ella's story spread throughout the kingdom as a tale of hope, kindness, and the belief that no matter how difficult life may be, goodness will always shine through. And they all lived happily ever after, for Ella had not only found her prince but also her true self, a kind and gentle soul who had the heart of a princess.